Yeah, I think ESG is definitely, and sustainability more broadly, is really creating a need for a different set of skills and discussion topics at the top table. There is a growing focus on the importance of ESG and sustainability in the boardroom in terms of how companies are responding to these agenda items to ensure that there is a narrative that is resonating with what investment capital wants to see as they invest in businesses, and also importantly that sustainability agenda and the commitments to sustainability are evidenced from the top down into the organisation.
I think it definitely must require some new skills at the top table. I mean, I think that, you know, some people will probably recognise that it's not personally a big thing for them, so maybe they're not best placed without going and learning some new skills to sort of be able to, you know, recognise that and deal with it. I think the thing from, you know, where we sit advising management teams and private equity businesses, probably where we're looking at it is to say, well, how is an ESG type strategy going to be affected? Are investors going to use the sort of reward and compensation structure and have metrics, you know, KPIs linked to ESG targets? And if they are, what are those targets? How do you measure that the targets have been achieved? And how do you really link the two together?
I think everybody's taking a cold hard look about sort of what they do every day. And as a result of it, I think actually you're going to become more efficient. You'll have significantly less waste. So I actually think that ESG initiatives will contribute to your P&L, not detract from it. Even though there's a view, what about the cost of ESG? I think when you think it all the way through, it's probably beneficial. So I think that is definitely a good thing and will actually be positive for business.
I think where it's really changed the dial for us is probably less, because we're a sort of services and software business, it's less about the sustainability piece, but it's probably more around the social and some of the government aspects of ESG, governance aspects of ESG. We have a big push within our business looking at D&I, for instance, and I think it makes a big difference to people when they're looking at the business that they want to join. What is this type of business? What do they stand for? How do I differentiate that from this other company over here that I maybe have an offer for?
It's not really a return question anymore, i.e. should we invest in ESG investments because they will deliver a higher return. It's just the right thing to do, and that permeates every aspect of our business. You know, sustainability isn't a choice, it's just a good way to run a business now. So it is driving transformational change, because even our software developers are starting to think about, you know, what they can do from a sustainability perspective in terms of how they deploy and write code. I didn't know this until recently, but there are more efficient ways in terms of how you construct a code base, and therefore how much energy it uses. You can bring sustainability in through that perspective as well.
And the other piece as well, I would say, around driving that agenda is around the education side. So we're heavily involved in sort of accountancy practices, SMEs in the UK, but also importantly education establishments, schools and multi-academy trusts. And actually it's been really, it's been a big focus from us to try and put back into some of the local communities through reading schemes to go into local schools and read with children and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we are trying to do, right from the investor level and at the boardroom, right down to the people on the front line in the business, where we are trying to push that culture and make sure we create somewhere where people are proud to work.